Summer fills our days with its vibrant colors, and if you're a fruit lover like me, you won't be able to resist making some delicious homemade ice cream. In this video, I'll show you how to make fruit ice cream using healthy ingredients. We'll explore how to pack it with rich fruit flavor while reducing or even eliminating bananas, and achieve a deliciously creamy texture instantly with a scoopable consistency that's really hard to resist. You'll need a food processor capable of crushing ice. It doesn't have to be as large as mine, but it should have at least 700 watts, preferably 1000 watts. I used to have a cheaper one, but it broke down after 2 years because I used it so frequently. So I decided to invest in a higher quality model to ensure it lasts for years. You'll find the link to purchase it in the description box if you're interested or want to compare this model with others. Let's start with the base ingredients. There's no doubt that bananas add creaminess and sweetness, but I don't like it when their flavor is too strong. We are only going to use half a banana. The real twist is using frozen yogurt, which you freeze in cubes just as you would freeze ice cubes. It's very important to use the right type of yogurt. It must be full fat, like Greek yogurt. If you prefer a plant-based option, use one made from cashews. What makes ice cream really creamy is primarily the fat content of the ingredients. If you're wondering if you can replace the banana with extra yogurt, the answer is yes, as long as your yogurt has a high fat content. Let's talk about the fruit. We are only going to use 250 grams of frozen fruit, either mixed berries, blueberries or strawberries. All the frozen ingredients should be kept at room temperature for 10-15 minutes before using them. This allows them to soften slightly, preventing damage to your food processor blades. Let's start by adding the juice of half a small lemon to the food processor. Then add 3 serving tablespoons of full-fat milk or plant-based milk. Here I'm using organic rice milk. Next, add 3 tablespoons of maple syrup. These 3 liquid ingredients must be fridge cold. Next, add a generous teaspoon of cashew butter or almond butter. This is the only ingredient that should be kept soft at around 25 degrees Celsius. If the butter is too cold, it won't integrate properly with the mixture, and your ice cream will have butter chunks throughout. Cashew butter is a healthy addition to your diet when consumed in moderation. It's rich in nutrients such as healthy fats, protein, vitamins, and minerals. When bananas are left to soften for a little while, they can be sliced very easily. I prefer slicing them after freezing because I noticed that once you freeze the slices, they can turn brown and stick to one another. My yogurt cubes are large, with each one being 25 grams, so I'll break them into chunks before adding. Now it's time to add the frozen ingredients. Add the sliced half of the banana and 100 grams of frozen yogurt. Finally, add 250 grams of frozen fruit. Start blending on pass mode to prevent damage to the blade or overheating. Scrape down the sides of the bowl as needed to remove residual ingredients. Do this repeatedly to avoid adding extra milk, which would make the ice cream more watery and a bit tasteless. Continuously blending and scraping the ingredients back into place will soften them and slowly turn them into a cream. When you reach this consistency, add 1 teaspoon of psyllium husk or 1 tablespoon of potato starch and 1 full teaspoon of protein powder. Blend. scrape down the sides of the bowl, and blend again until smooth. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the nice, creamy texture of this ice cream. It's so inviting. And see how firm yet soft and scoopable it is when I pour it into the bowl. It's basically ready to serve. However, if your kitchen is very warm and the ice cream melts a bit, or if you want a firmer texture, store it in the freezer for 2 hours. Using the same method, we can make Mediterranean fruit ice cream with apricots, peaches or plums. It's crucial that the fruit is fully ripe to maximize its natural sugar content and achieve a richer, more robust flavor. Remember to cut it into small chunks to aid your food processor, especially if it's not very powerful. The base remains the same, with the only variation being to replace lemon juice with the same amount of orange juice. These ingredients serve 4 to 6 people who want a small portion, or 2 people looking for a medium-sized serving, or 1 big portion for shameless people like me, whose stomach knows no bounds when it comes to homemade ice cream and smoothies. I must confess, this full bowl can be my lunch during the hot summer days when I crave something fresh. The protein and fat content keeps me feeling full and satisfied for hours, and I never feel like eating anything else afterward. You can store any leftovers in the freezer. Just remember to let the ice cream soften at room temperature for 30 minutes before serving. Stay tuned for more flavors coming soon. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to like and share. Leave a comment, consider subscribing, and hit the bell to receive notifications. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.